everybody, this is Alexandrake, and today we're playing the Yetta once again. Last time, Marianne is still around. She is still titting and breathing, from what I can tell. Wherever the half of this episode, that may be different. But she's around. Spooks are getting worse, and we saw a strange combination of people. It's a little odd. A bit of an odd direction there. But I wasn't expecting it, so I guess that's something to say. So, regardless, let's dive in and see where the story takes us and whether or not we can save Marianne, paralyze her in a coma, or she ends up dead from the dose. Who knows? It's always random. And I don't know if I can make the best decisions in this game. So anyway, enough said. Let's begin, shall we? Grand. Ah, yes. These two are the 80s. Great. So it's the 28th of Friday. That means it's... When's that? Oh, the 28th is the party. Do people ever have that feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still it eventually tires them out? Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
The moments like these made all the hard work worth it. Definitely.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
We're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction on the child's face is enough for me to push through. Let's face it, in between my aspirations and Mr. Wright's antics on her, I've been burning the tunnel at both ends. Can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead Dell's face. Oh, bless you. Dead Dell, dead. She's dead, and I have to remind myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they buried her body 6 feet under. Oh my God, Marianne, you probably need to see a therapist. And a supernatural therapist. Is that a thing, supernatural therapist? That should be a thing, probably. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be died. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead, when I should be bothering myself with the living. Very true. Too bad. The living are always as complicated as, if not more, than those of the past.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Is it more complicated when the if in question is a pair of rich and famous associates way past our honeymoon phase? And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
Maybe then she's not talking about them.
What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask.
This
is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone.
I'm still not entirely sure why I decided to keep endeavour. Maybe I both wanted to reach out at the hand of the Ghouls. Ghouls? My God, this is a weird entry. Oh, I know, I just thought... Actually, I had a few times. I generally didn't know which ones to pick, and it's surprising that they did stay together.
We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Why she thinks a single woman had me should be the best source of relationship advice is beyond me. Still, I taught in the answer of my best of my abilities. Without realizing it, I'm already pouring out a part of me that I had thought for yon alone. I do read the words and will be of some help to Mrs. Wright. But if I'm honest though, they are some help to me. Now, some weight have to be taken off my shoulders. Uraine.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party. Oh, you really must, Marianne.
The weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it? Maybe.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies.
I'm sorry, but that's the face of evil there. Isn't it? That is the face of evil. I'm sorry, Marianne, I really am. You have an evil face.
Busy, busy, busy.
Ugh.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I change that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Wow. Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead, I shouldn't just tower-associate forget about them too. Saying that after what you have to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with a trap that she would so easily miss things at a party for it. I would say the party. People hurry about there, and then preparation of the right to drown housewarming party. None spare a chance as I ship past them, each one on their own appointed rows, and not daring to shatter off what they were for what is probably the most powerful couple in Yutspawn. The kitchen. I made it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. But when is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet, that is worthy of being told at twice. I'm not acting as Marianne Matonhe, the professional interior designer, which I choose to yell about being too busy for a party. I'm Marianne Matonhe, a awful neutral chariot with 9 points of wisdom and 8 in charisma. Nice. Just thinking about it like that makes it a bit cheesy. But it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I've actually seen out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing and find my self-imagined grand quest full fiat. And who would have thought that the gatekeeper of my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally?
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butter Toms of the cellar and into the kitchen, tailored by a couple of others, people who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. He raises his brow, seeing me just stand there by the hatch, by the trap door. It's almost just as he's trying to throw me out for being a kitchen without permission. But then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize himself with their surroundings. Meanwhile, he determines to stand there, preferring the entry into the darkness beyond.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now.
Nice.
I request you leave.
I was just looking around for any last-minute things, yes?
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about.
I kinda like Johannes, a little bit. He's a young guy, even though he really wants to punch you in the face, which I do admire 100%. I don't appreciate what he did to Satori, but I can see his point of view where he thought it was a murderer, but I'm like, I don't know. It's complicated with this game, in a sense. I know who we're talking about.
Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
Nearly just me, as he says it, this is almost chilling. His wife was a dame, but he'd probably be the true neutral warrior guarding the treasure. Oh, Amazing. I don't have the D&D references. I wonder if there is a spooky D&D game at PA. If there is, you let me know, because it'd be fun. A different opportunity to beat with 9 points of wisdom and 8 in dexterity. Wait, is that for the character or for the warrior? Because if that's for warrior, that's a little difficult for the man, because the main status choice. Stop it. I'm not doing D&D. This is the holiday.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place. So just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Has something happened to Marianne? Because she seems more nervous now.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble.
Oh, she wants to see in the mirror. That's what she's doing. She wants to see in the mirror.
Both the Bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise.
Is he towing near to sausage? If so, I have Johannes.
And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek you right now. Oh, but...
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9, 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself.
Okay.
The Bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Nice.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
That voice with that face, I don't know, it gives me shivers. I'm not trying to be mean to her. I really am not. It just gives me the wrong impression with her. He steps aside to be judging you. Oh my god. At this point, your child does no turning back. The point of no return. Oh, I see. Oh, this is starting to be a horrifying situation. A mirror at the end of the hallway with 2 torches of fire. Come on now. Come on! This is streaming for you to die, Marianne. What the hell are you doing? Anyway, the stairway greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller, with a lot more bottles joining the wall compared to before. And knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things worse. Maybe the deuce died when she was using the mirror, so that's why she was trapped inside the mirror. Just a thought I had. Just that one image that we had when that other woman, the Beyond Lady, was using at us directly, it could be implied that perhaps that image was from a mirror, maybe? I don't know. Just an idea. The mirror had been moved from the study is my doll. This feels like some of the Philosopher's Stone in Harry Potter, doesn't it? Like the mirror in a dark corridor. I didn't return to it after my initial discovery, but thought of Uraine had much I want to see again, even if it's just one more time, keeps turning back to my mind. As I walk through the cell, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. Whatever 3 bottles were left behind here are now nothing but gas under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butlers had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess with red silt pouring from the remnants of a good drink. Without doubt, this place is a person with dark enough imagination to an easy mistake for blood. It turned out but faint it is, despite the easy logical explanation that had come to my mind, only because of what I'm about to do. It is merely a monumental distraction as the continual end of the cellar when the mirror stands. Propped up on the far wall, it deems innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. How morbid a thing that this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires and twist it into an image so dark. That's what I've seen that day. Though I heard Uraine many times, I've only seen her within its frame. I suppose you have. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many have wasted away in front of it, enamored, and how many were frightened away by what they saw. This reminds me of this short story by Hans Trinsansian. It's the one where the Ice Queen, and how a mirror itself was trying to see the worst in yourself, and you're like, it was shattered in the air by a couple of flying goblins or something. Demons in the air. Those just turned other people's eyes so they only saw the worst in everyone else, and it just created a cycle of evilness in the world. It's a mad story, pretty fun. Yet as I stand before, it's now nothing. At the base, in my own reflection in the darkness.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall?
Somehow Marianne made me jump there slightly.
Something? Anything?
Just walk away, Yuff. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. Nothing. Just in the server doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There's no sudden surge of power, and I'm not suddenly granted sight. It says what it is. A mirror. Was Geraint's appearance in the mirror or some sort of fever dream? Am I really upburdened with guilt and despair that my mind would eat itself in my stress and have my hallucinations, such things? Either way, just staring here on some trace obsession for Adele, yon dawn must warrant me a trip to a doctor. Already I feel ill. I had a few more minutes in hopes that something would change, I turned around to Eve. Hold on, bear with it. I just go back upstairs, and never that happened. Perhaps drop by the party for some hors d'oeuvres. Don't home and tea at myself. Oh, here we go. Besides, Mrs. Rider suspect me, and I'm
Going to leave me again then, are you?
There we go. There we go. I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. As much as it pains me, I don't drift back. If I'm just hearing her den, desperately delusional, I yet back to see nothing, I don't want to give myself false hope. But when I feel fingers around my wrists pull at me, oh no, I get back and shot. Oh no. My first thought is, how in God's name is this possible? And the certain is Geraint. Her hands are toed.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
I don't know what to say, and I only stare at her in wonder. She stands there in the mirror with only her arms extended outward for my sight. I hear the hand still holding my wrist, and when she sees me yitching at it, she moves it so that our hands are entwined, fingers weave together. Seeing her there and feeling her touch meant I'm not crazy. Though ever impossible and unexplainable, this is all to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pouring her out through is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. We can be together then, Geraint and Marianne, and nothing had ever happened. But that'd be a great bit I wanted.
What? Pack out your tongue? Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Even if this was Fiend was some magic portal that would bring back the dead, it doesn't erase anything. Just shouldn't her. Still a young teenager while I'm already grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that binds me. I've seen her twice now. Always behind the mirror. Are you just smashed the mirror? If this is real, this is something to use in, then why doesn't she only exist behind the glass?
Yeah. You have no idea how happy I am to see you. It's been so long.
You don't look happy.
I really am happy. But at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened to you.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me this peculiar look. And before my eyes, she moves a step out of the mirror. Oh. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, almost as if I'm afraid.
I don't know how this is possible. But whatever this is, it isn't real. You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you. You're dead.
A deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie. But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you. As long as you stay with me, Marianne.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
I don't trust that smile. That's a Yaya's smile. That was the plan. I came down here for her for closure. But this isn't This isn't just chosen, this is something else entirely. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. Do I leave or do I stay? She needs to move on. I just can't let this happen to her. Joseph, this is what I came here for. Whatever this is, it might as well just been just a devil's trick. And I might as well make some of it of use, right? I say nothing at first for fear of angering whatever phantom this is. I take Lorraine's hand, bring it to my ears, pin a kiss on her knuckles. She takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me on and step back to the mirror, to only her arm is extended to dead.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself.
I even knew of the spooky music.
I know it's too late. I'm sorry. But
the thought of being with the dead did not agree with me. Not one bit. You have to move on.
I can't stay with you.
To buy my first chef. Oh, it's an achievement.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife? That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
This is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did. What I didn't do.
Marianne. What's your fault? She thinks she didn't doubt me into being complacent, but she realized otherwise as I pull my hand from her. And turned by the use of anger on her face, the anger that runs toes, she did not like the fact that I'm not some mere puppet on a string. Had she chosen the words Terfia, would have accepted whatever punishment Marianne chooses to give me. Guilt had ran my life, as might as well very well ended it. Because I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Whoever, whatever this shadow is, my gut tells me she is not Lorraine. Yet I keep talking as if she is.
I broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dare to admit? Yes, that was my fault. But I never meant to hurt you like that.
Despite her words, no matter how sincere they are, she appears angry, enraged, in fact. It's been years since I last saw that face, and even now the memory of it is still etched deeply into my mind. The hurt, the tears, and the hate spewing from her eyes that day, the moment I rejected her. Rejected myself for who I am. And she definitely will hate for what I'm about to do next. To my left, a wine rat. Hello. And from there I take a bottle and pray to all the saints I can remember. Hello. For all my sins. For every hurtful words I've uttered. For what I have driven her to do that day. What I forced her into.
What are you doing?
I do without thinking twice. Truly, before I can hesitate, I'd grab the bottle and send it straight towards the mirror. The shards of bottle on the mirror are sent flying everywhere. Lorraine streams everyone into the cellar. Bitter. Shearing. Yet every wounding accusation that she hurled at me. They never left me. I doubt they ever will. But with this, I can move away from them. From her. Live my life as I should. Free from the burden. Her burden. Does Lorraine know, the real one, the person I love, will never want me to carry this to my death. As the stream dies down, I can't help but mutter weakly.
It's done. It's done. Oh, Lorraine. Forgive me, Lorraine.
I take some time to compose myself, breathing in and out, stamping down on the tremors to erect in my neck, straightening out my jacket and fixing my hair. All we attempt at returning to myself to someone resembling my normal self. This is probably easy to do with the mirror, but actually, I won't be able to stand in at one for a long time.
Well now, I should probably go back up there. Party to attend, rich socialites to do business with, and food to eat. Mrs. Wright will be happy if I make some time for it anyway.
Yet one last time to the shattered dust beneath my feet.
I'm sorry, Lorraine. May you see God's light on the path.
Oh, turn around to ye for this time. That uneasy smile on my face falls as I see Lorraine whole and well.
come on, Mac. You really didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You get bonus points for trying. But you should know an 8 in charisma is not enough to turn undead.
Tall yarn doesn't make sense because that's an ability. Doesn't have to do with your charisma. She advances towards me, bats me against the wall. I can't even reach for another wine bottle without putting myself within her reach. Despite my earlier bravado, I don't think she'd be able to assist at all without the mirror. Oh, did I kill someone again? Can you blame me though? It's not that I'm an expert on the supernatural.
That's not... You shouldn't be...
What? Out of the mirror? Did you think just moving on will erase what you did to me? You're nothing but a murderer, Marianne. A murderer!
Stay back. You're not real. Leave me alone. Stop. I'm trying to move on with my life, so why won't you let me? Please. Just get out of my head and leave me be.
I'm trying to find out when there's a kit. Let's fear now I'm falling back into the darkness. Oh. Oh! What the hell? I fall my back and the door slams behind me. In a daze, read around, weary, and find myself in another room entirely. Huh? Astral dungeons now? On the other side of the wall, some sort of secret passage perhaps, an underground tunnel that has me wary and frightened. It also proves the oddities in the mansion's floor plans are a lot more than just the little discrepancies. I expect you ready to jump out from me from the darkness any time. A breeze blowing through the tunnels has me relieved though, at the idea there is still a way to escape should that happen. I don't think the ghost can come here. If this is where the woman was before, this place still might haunt her. So I think this area may be saved more on emotional grounds. Sort of how Darth Vader never wanted to go back to Tatooine due to the mental stares he had of being an orphan and being a slave and all that other stuff in between. That is way better than being trapped underground with only God knows what that is. And funny thought come to mind as I start wondering to where the action might be. I think about how Mrs. Wright would be just so disappointed if I didn't show up to the party. Imagine how furious Mr. Wright would be for breaking one of his wine bottles. Even Johannes Rialto comes to mind, though I don't even know will that die. One thing for sure is that I'd be toying Tam and Haroon for a drink as soon as I get out of here. Sounds wise. Oh, for goodness sake! Don't make me run! That noise had me wary. The actual woman. A dashing thing and talks of woman leans on the wall. Her arms yims almost every inch of her youth body, yet peppered with wounds and rotten flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood at the door hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here? Oh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
I flinch as the thing twitches. Hello! And as soon as I open its eyes, he hits me with a smile. There's nothing on my mind but horror. I brain to a run. That is wise. I try to keep on running no matter how much my heads and feet scream at me to stop. I keep going even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The stamping on my feet, the words she tries to form with her blooded mouth, and the painful sounds of bones drying against each other as she moves closer and closer to me.
How long are these damn tunnels?
There's a split second where I know that thing is right behind me, a strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence zooms over me. And then suddenly, I don't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still, I struggle up until I'm thrown to the side like some ragdoll. I hit the ground on my side, and the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is my only indication that I'm still alive.
Please don't hurt me.
My body hurts, and I keep my eyes shut tight, afraid of what might happen next.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
There's only dread seeing how she followed me even here. I just thought I was safe. Why do I predict these things if it's just gonna stab me in the back? So he aims over me, bats me firm into the cell that I was thrown in.
Please. It's so cold. I don't want to be alone, Marianne. Why won't you stay with me? Why would you leave me? Why? What are you?
Your rain turns and shifts into that thing from before. Is that Tamara? And with the same gruesome grin, it takes a step forward towards the cell. Towards me. I barely scramble to my knees when the door to the cell slams shut and it just stands there, staring. Shouts for help ring out the tunnel. But none of them are coming for me. I'm more paranoid and shocked by what is happening. My throat tightens at being fooled by the image of Lorraine and the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where's...
Help me! Help me! Oh, help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl?
Oh, this happened before.
Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time. Look at this thing, though. It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea. Oh man, that's genius!
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously? Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's Juarez kid would panic.
Guys? What? Spit it out! Behind you!
There, the door on the cell, a digital camera comes flittering into life and the video has played back on the screen. It was hard to even consider paying any attention to it when my life was on the line. But when the dose doesn't move and the teenagers mocking shouts of help me fill the cell, I just had to watch. What I've seen, students judged by their St. Doretta uniform. Oh, that was the store Peter went to. They were holding...
That letter.
And that thing, the woman, she... Oh! The original Yadi. Charlotte? Was that Charlotte? Was that Yadi Charlotte? Was that her name? Wait. Hold on a second. Yeah, just notified me, to try to stick found a certain friend. Now trapped in one of the cells she found out. Did I to her? Or did I not? I'm trying to save as many people as I can, I promise. I really am trying. So far I've only saved Hannah, apparently. Interesting. Let's continue and see where Rebecca's story takes us now. Shall we? Grand. Rebecca's story. Let's begin. It is how it begins, or so they say. With a gentle wind drifting through wide open windows, muffled After's footsteps fade behind empty hallways and the light tips of the afternoon sun. Soon there will be a tool trusting the thresholds into the unknown. Maybe we are off to some grand adventure or dive into another drifting mystery. One time to retell, for all I know, a hero might even time to sweep me off my feet if I'm lucky.
That's not exactly a bad thing when you think about it.
But this is far from one, isn't it? A riveting tale, that is. Oh, so I got more things than her. Interesting. Relationship, she is... Close friend of that. Oh, did I read that? Interesting. Oh well. Alright. Oh, interesting posture. Isn't me, like, Isabella is the... Like, every woman except for Isabella have got the basically asked it now. Why? I don't know why they're drawing it like that. And then there's Satri. What a beautiful man. Oh yes. Broad, tall, powerful. Oh yeah. Now this is perfect. The mild breeze, the faint murmurs, the warm rays of paint in every nook and cranny, a fiery who that they are, all as real as they can get. As much as I want to write a little tale out of this, I'm far from someone who can. Fleeting fancies of that's what these are, mere passion forced to occupy an idle mind while waiting for another busy workday to end. Then, maybe in another life I am one, who knows. But at present, what I have and what I've chosen to be, well...
I won't last years here if I find teaching rowdy adolescents a tedious job, will I?
And maybe the whole affair isn't as such as grand or exciting as I imagined as a child. If I weren't so stubborn and too passionate about the whole idea, I probably would have 20 on time ago. But it's always the tidbits that makes it worthwhile, isn't it? As if in agreement, as soon as my pen strides into the neat circle against the papers, I'm draining, the final bell rings. You're damn how that is open, students begin piling out into the hallway soon after. For a short minute, I let the noise fill my ears, and my mind wandered to a place far removed from all the hub-dub. Variety, moments like this have come few and far between lately. In my own home hasn't been as quiet as it usually I prefer. Though in hindsight the entire place has been the same ever since Isabella moved in next door. And if her fussing over a minor toad aspect tells me anything, I might as well throw any idea of solitude out the nearest balcony so you honestly lives nearby. Aww. At the memory, my eyes automatically shift over the bottle sitting at the edge of my desk. A chuckle escapes from me as I reach for it.
A little ball of energy and enthusiasm. That big baby.
With a hand she towards me and then says and does the same thing right after. It's not that I'm unused to being on the receiving end of other people's worries or I feel any sort of apprehension over her fretting. If I am to be truly honest, it's actually amusing how someone can be childlike one minute and act yet a responsible adult the next. But then there's a distance there, both in her actions and words. Though she may not get at it, may not say anything, may not use her cheer one way or another, I know these troubles have weighted down her lately. Her face says it all, that bit numpty. If she thinks I won't notice, she's done everything for her. That's how she has always been. I do understand that part, aren't you? And it's just that I'd really rather not pass another burden on to her. Oh, yes.
Or become one myself.
And I'm supposed to be the one taking care of them. I know that's a simple one of those things people find you draw away from once you've all started your different lives. Not a pretty different, I hope. Somehow that thought makes me feel uneasy. Finding for a stranger ideas then take root in my head, a faint buzzing comes from my bed, turning through the rest of my thoughts. A small frown forms my lip when the screen lights up and an unknown number flashes. Hannah? For you understand, my thumb hovers over the answer button, even the voice that responds wants to do, except at all, is wholly unfamiliar.
Hello?
Oh, goodness. Finally, it connects. Hello? Is this Miss Gales? Rebecca Gales?
Rose?
Yes, Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Oh, sorry. Rose Cooper. Briar
Rose.
Realty Corporation.
Briar Realty?
The frown deepens as I straighten from my chair. Something in her tone, despite sounding remarkably friendly and light, doesn't sit quite well with me. There is a pause that follows on to help ease the tension that has suddenly descended either.
Miss Cooper?
Yes. Things are a bit busy on my end. I apologize. I'm not certain if Isabella has mentioned anything before, but we're working together on a property at the moment, and...
The Armengard Mansion, yes. She said something about that earlier. Is there a problem?
This is about Isabella, actually.
She wastes no time relaying everything. The details she provided are admittedly a bit vague, but enough for me to get the gist of what's happened. It isn't the bad sort I'm expecting, though still worrying. Especially words panic-tad, pale yet in a bit sickly, woven together in one foreboding sentence. Oh dear. But as we as the surface, I stomped down the urge to demand answers right there and then. Now isn't the proper time for use of questions, I'll find out soon enough regardless. To Miss Tuber's credit, she never hesitates nor falters all throughout. There's some sort of comfort in knowing this where has someone like her to guide her, though not as much as I would have liked. After all, this is Isabella we're talking about. What are the chances she just said a bunch of deuces so she won't get sent home? Huh? High. Very high. Oh, she's done a dough to here this time.
You were listed as one of her emergency contacts, so I thought it'd be best you know about this.
How is she? Is she doing okay?
Interesting of Rose. This is kind of Rose to sort of chat up on her and stuff, but I'm curious about Rose because she's died so twitchy. Really twitchy. I'm curious if we'll ever see what she's witnessed.
I had her take a break for now, but honestly, I'd feel better if someone were to pick her up and take her home for some rest. Anthem's a fair distance from Luxborn. I really don't want her going off on her own. I'd do it myself, but oh, you know how it is today. Big day. People everywhere until the open house ends. I'm really sorry to ask this of you, Miss Gales. I know you're busy.
Oh, no, it's all good. I was just about to leave from work. I hope to leave early today anyway. A few minutes ahead wouldn't hurt. I can be there in a few, 30, 40 minutes tops. Is that all right?
More than fine, Miss Gales, thank you. We're supposed to be here until... Oh, excuse me. One moment, please. Yes, ma'am.
Vain hum of conversation echoes from her end. It sounds as though Grace is bustling with more people than she expected from a already open house. I was skeptical first. The house is odd, not to mention its inconvenient notation in the Yachtspurred outskirts. Here once even appears amongst an hour's drive away from the comforts of the city. But from what you two I can hear, it appears Isabella has every right to be optimistic about this sale. If I didn't understand why she was so adamant refusing my offer of help before, I think I'll do it now. Okay, so this is the open sale. It's not when they first found the Eden. Not the cinema event. This is after that. I do believe. To some degree.
We'll be resuming the tour soon. Yes, thank you. Sorry about that. I really need to get this thing going. Lord knows how I'll salvage the situation here. It shouldn't be anything complicated, but still, clients. They can be difficult when they want to be. Anyway, just look for me when you get here, alright? I shouldn't be too hard to miss.
No problem. Thanks for letting me know about this. Just make sure Isabella stays put, please. Heaven knows how stubborn that girl can be.
Oh, believe me, I know.
This is when Ash picks her up, so I don't know if she's in a Rebecca's and Ash tell Ash to pick her up, or perhaps she's on deck there and they're already done. Which would be quite annoying.
Don't worry about it. I'll have a few of our staff keep an eye on her for me until you get here.
That's all I'm asking. I appreciate it.
The whole thing ends on a surprisingly pleasant note. There only the same to be said for the news she brought. I have remembered the past to ease whatever tension has reacted so firmly to my nerves. But no matter how much I wish for it, my mind stubbornly refuses to do so. My hands are unsteady against the papers I pretend to arrange after. Useless thoughts, every single ounce of it driven than the other, grows with each passing second I yonder. Something about this whole thing, along with the sudden unease and nagging worry, streams off. Run. This isn't the riveting tale I've hoped to step into today. Is that like checking himself out in the mirror, or is he freaked out by something that's about to jump him? Oh, it's just a weird posture. Sure. Even on the rust, getting everywhere in order before he even takes me a good quarter hour. By the time I made out of the classroom, the commotion has already died down, dwindling to mere echoes and distant yafters. From the nearby room, melodies from rehearsing the band drifts free into the air, filling the almost empty hallways with their warm, lively tunes. Any other day I'll stop the bath and amuse and enjoy what little peace it brings. Not today, however. I step abreast, and as I march to Edward's Hall exit, the sooner I confirm Isabella's attained, the sooner I can shake off the Indian Fiend. For one reason or another, that single tool of all possible things has thrown everything off kilter. I'd rather this be over with as quickly as possible. So much that I need barrel over students in my haste. Though perhaps it's really the other way around. Oh, it's you! Ugh. Demon! When I get down, a set of eyes, bright and hopeful, stare back at me. Her arms are wrapped around my waist, and her face. Round my waist, yet a face. There we go. And my attention then spreads over her face.
Buenas tardes, Miss Pink.
Hello, Kylie. You know, you aren't supposed to run into people like that.
Sorry, Miss Pink.
I don't trust you. I want to throw through a window. She loosens her hold of me, but not a hint of guilt or dread appears on her. Demon. If anything, it seems the remark only amused her. A smile appears on my face before I can help it, matching the one on her own.
Just remember not to do it again, all right? You could get hurt.
You sound like my mama when she's scolding Rowan, Miss Pink.
Wait. Rowan? The time where they mention of Rowan. How he was also tid in this stall. Well, I presume this is the same stall, Duretti. And he never saw the... Is it still connected? Intrigued. Yes.
I'm sure your mama only means well. I know she'll be worried sick if one of you were to get hurt. Where's your brother anyway? Aren't you two supposed to be heading home now?
Rowan said he's got some stuff he needs to do before we go. I think he's taking too long. But he promised to buy me jelly babies today if I keep what he's doing a secret from Mama and Papa.
Any chance you'll tell Miss Pink about it?
She shakes her head, both her hands down to her mouth as if she presses secret from spewing out.
I made a promise.
I don't trust this kid.
He said it's for Tia Luke.
Cute.
Oh, something like a gift?
Like a deal. Tio promised to take him somewhere cool when he's old enough. Rowan's gonna prove he's a grown-up.
Part of me is thinking not the mansion and the Yetta, right? Because he might know his friends went to that mansion and he probably heard the news that they've been dead. So maybe he saw the camera footage? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, whatever it is, I don't trust this kid. You have to skip through for my yips. Tisa in me wants to give whoever this Teal is a reprimand for bringing about this kind of behaviour in children. But if both the I was right! I'm so fond of him, they shouldn't be anything to worry about, yes. So it is the same guy. He wasn't there during the incident. So this demon of a child has got something to do with this. Okay, the plot is fitting. I don't know what if Rowan is probably he's just a bystander, but or maybe a antagonistic force. Intrigued. Yes. If both of the Serenitors are so fond of him, they shouldn't be anything to worry about. Yes. At any rate, there's nothing but well behaved, both Talia and her brother. Rowan the eldest may have occasionally odd street in and out of classes, but their parents taught them well, so I see no reason to test any suspicion of the bad behaviour on them.
As long as it isn't anything dangerous, all right?
It's not. Cross my heart. My drawings are a lot prettier than what he's doing anyway. Tio said so.
You mean drawings on a piece of paper? Paper that contains words. Yetta yetta. Demon child, do you speak the truth?
Do you want to see? I drew one earlier at class.
No.
Is that why you're here?
Not really. I was gonna show it to my friend first. But since it's you, I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you see it before she does.
Oh no. I can't stay right now, Kylie.
Her face feels moody after words are out. A small part of me feels responsible for that trust and fallen yet, but as much as I want to stay yonder, there's another place I need to be at right now. And frankly, another child to look after. Taking both her hands, I kneel in front of her and muster the most rueful smile I can do. At her age, I'm quite sure she already understands what I'm about to say before they're even out. But her modesty doesn't get away or pout as I'm expecting her to.
I'm sorry. You know what? Rowan has a class with me on Monday around this time. Why don't you drop by again next week? After class? I'll even make sure to wait for you.
So, Rebecca, do you know the other students that was in that incident or not? Because I feel like you might know them. If so, when did that happen?
It's just that I absolutely must leave now. My friend had an accident earlier, and I'm the only one she has here.
What about her mama and papa?
Her family lives really far from here, I'm afraid. Do you remember where Asia is? The southeast part? That's where they are.
Her eyes really yiked up at my question. Just showing that, I know I've earned this girl's forgiveness.
Oh, just like Takako.
Who?
My friend. She said she used to live there, only just a little higher than southeast.
Oh.
But she hasn't come home in a long time, so she doesn't remember much about it anymore. Melody says it's weird I talked to her, but I think she's just shy. They could be good friends too! Don't you think so, Miss Pink?
Maybe if you introduce them properly, they will be.
That's what I think. Takako's just lonely. If she makes more friends, she won't be anymore.
I'm not trying to be suspicious about this little girl. Ever since that thing that happened with Satori with her, I can't help but feel like, you're a demon, aren't you? I'm watching you, demon! But then she could be your girl. Oh, a demon.
Is your friend like that too?
A little, possibly. To be honest, sometimes I can't tell with her.
After all, Isabella has always been the kind to have a smile even when things have taken a turn for the worse. 5 years and one will think it will be enough to know a person. But when you consider it, come to think of it, all these years I've never, not even once, seen her try. Not over a trivial matter or even when things are tough.
Okay, you can go to her. I'll just show you my drawing next time.
Thank you. Remind me to buy you a huge glass of parfait, all right?
No, I'll get a stomachache. Takako says so. A small one is okay.
I'll remember that. Say hi to your friend for me.
Tatata is not a ghost monster, demon thing. Not the woman, is it?
I will. I'm sure she'd love to meet you too. See you, Miss Pink.
I'll see you later, Kylie.
I don't want to see you, Tatari.
London Bridge is falling down, falling
She doesn't
down,
get about to wait for any
falling
sort of
down.
goodbye from me.
London Bridge is
With a sigh and an
falling
extra
down,
spring in her step,
my
she bounds
fair
across the
lady.
corridor with as much spirit only a child her age should have. Oh God, she's darn fine, heavens. As if the conversation has never taken a downhill turn for her at all. As if there isn't a single thing to worry about in the world. Not even after she disappears behind the door, even behind strains of an old familiar rhyme union in the air. Carefree, unbidden, untroubled moments like this, I envy her. As I resume my hurried pace, a tiny whisper about in my mind, which is the same can be said of myself and my own worries. Yospon may be a small city, but it's no stranger to the hellish rush hour traffic. But surprisingly, getting out of the city proves more than of a breeze and a hassle. A relief considering how none of the tools that Isabella have made it through. Either reception's really bad over there, or she's annoying them on purpose. Both does nothing to ease the disquiet in me. The rest of my drive passes without much incident as soon as I'm out of the busy streets. In less than 30 minutes, the mansion looms around of me. For all the fuss Isabella made about the house, it remains a thing of beauty. And at Ashburn, the estate and nearby Anson village stands at its complete opposite. Hearing and breathing the sons of old, whispers of once booming haven yinnering in the air. Complimentary convenience aside, it's a straight place, the modernisation has an holy touch.
It's just a shame the locals know more of the silly hearsay than the history itself. If I could only knock some sense into these people.
Sadly, to pain is all I can afford to do, as much as I want to give them a piece of my mind. It isn't why I'm here. I don't think these rich types will appreciate getting a lecture from me either. I have as much business with them as they have with me. With every side, I give myself 1 year setting to taking the scenery before heading up to the main entrance. Most of the guests are already heading out. Although some still yonder, it's mainly just to take photos of the house facade or its various rooms. I pause for a moment, staring at the small crowd gathered at the foyer, looking for any signs of that familiar ponytail among the seas of hats and heads.
No sign of her.
No sign of the other staff or Miss Cooper either. I am certainly good for Isabella on my own, but in a place this big, I'll be out if I didn't end up lost or find her before we need to meet Saturday and Ash tonight. Wait, the movie? Certainly, I reached for my mobile to redial a number, and the gesture familiar now after so many attempts earlier. If she doesn't answer, I can still try contacting Miss Cooper. I'm just hoping that reception will cooperate this time. The side of the country has never been popular with tech savvy after all. Too bad you if it only took 3 unsuccessful tries. And the fourth one, right, is about to switch to another interceptor message. The yarn finally rings. Silence falls when I wait for her to pick up the ring, going far too on for my taste. By now, most of the visitors are already cheered out. All I have to tell me are the faint murmurs and eerie calmness left in their wait. A sudden haze settles and gives way to noises louder than they are ever meant to be. Doors try to slam and shut in some distant part of the mansion. Floorboards drone under the sheer weight of the house's history. In the now empty hall, they reverberate with special charges to walls. Like those old stories seem to almost have a reign of truth to it. I don't get to stray far into that other line of thought, however. Oh, stray. Not a second later, a cute sound from the other end.
Hello? Isabella? Miss Cooper called earlier and...
There it is.
Isabella? Belle? Are you alright?
Far morning, the tall ducks tut off. Busy notes Pierre sharply against the heavy silence. Wait, what day is this, Asachi? But above the noise touching through the mute air remains in a faint trace forward. Sorry, I just heard that. From behind the foyer. My hand falls to the side as I taste a weary look around, waiting for someone to come running. Certainly I can't be the only one hearing this, right? There must be still some sort of staff hanging around checking things out. But no one does. Not even when her sobs turn more frantic and anguish.
Excuse me? Hello? Who's there? Isabella? Isabella? Is that you?
No answer. Droning and anxious, I ambled over where her cries come from, each step slow and cautious towards the door on the other end of the room. While I'm far from someone who really dives into the fear of the stories or yet in factual basis, the fade relentless feeling I have earlier immediately returns to me. And despite myself, my heart begins to race, my breathing quickens.
Belle? Belle, it's me. Miss Cooper called. Is everything okay?
Abruptly, it all stops. My whole body tenses, mouth drowning in a rapid breath, ears straining, any other sound yet come from the other side. But nothing follows. Instead, the twilight only yields itself to heavy tension in the air, as if every small moment will disturb the fragile stillness hanging in the room. I wait for another second. Then with caution, I reach for the knob. My fingers barely graze the brass handle when a hand falls on my shoulder.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Oh!
I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
No, it's a...
Still reeling, my day shifts back to the door, as if there's any setting now, the tries will start again, or whoever's inside will burst out the room. But I don't get to dwell on these. The woman's worried voice breaks through my haze and my mind then, oddly soothing in the fit of my unease. Even if the sun gets tumped from a total stranger, finding being in the company of someone else is somehow comforting.
Ma'am? Are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm fine. This is probably just some cold.
So she saw the dose, or witnessed the dose, before the Yetta. Interesting.
Do you need to sit down?
No need. I'm actually looking for a friend.
I waved the mobile in front of her, like just a yearn explains everything. I fairly note my tight grip on it and quickly slipped in my pocket before she notices. She doesn't need to know.
Well, I'm not really sure if your friend would still be here. We're actually about to close the open house in a few minutes, ma'am.
No worries. She's not a guest here. She works for Briar Realty. Miss Cooper called me earlier. In fact, I'm also looking for her.
A recognition flashes in her eyes, and her worried expression dissolves in a smile at once. It's all I need to know that I don't have to get elsewhere or venture deeper into the mansion of my own. In some ways, I'm not too keen on the Yatta right now.
Oh, Miss Rebecca Gales, is it?
Yes. Sorry if I'm a bit late.
It's not a problem. I was busy with the open house and a few clients anyway. It's actually a good thing you came when you did. Let's see. Isabella should be here somewhere. I told her to stay put earlier. That girl never listened.
Rose? Rosie? May I have a minute? There's just this one little thing before we go.
Hannah. Miss Tuber's head immediately snaps up at the voice, and a brilliant different kind of smile spreads on her face. A smile still friendly even, but the kind given mainly for the sake of pleasing other people rather than making friends.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in a few.
Ah. It's an impressive thing to say the least. The ever professionalism. I suppose working years in this kind of business trains you enough to be able to pull that off without batting an eye. It certainly didn't seem to have rubbed off on Isabella, though.
Sorry, could you give me a second? I have to take care of this.
Don't worry about it. I understand. I can wait a few more minutes. Clients, right?
You won't hear anything from me. Priorities, you know? But if you want, you can stay at the parlor in the meantime. I think we have a few refreshments left.
I reckon those two could have been friends, maybe. I don't know, I just have this feeling that they could have been friends, right? All three of them with Isabella. I think something could have worked out.
No, thank you. I'm going out with a few friends after this. Isabella's supposed to join us too. But that depends on how she's doing, of course.
So yeah, she witnessed this before she saw the dose.
Alright, this won't be long, I promise.
She throws me an apologetic at the yurt before sauntering over to a small group gathered at the entrance. Oh, a couple or recipients. Have that. Another woman, probably their secretary. Either way, they get no different from the other deaths. All three of them primary dress, but in a manner significantly simpler than the others, no frills, no extravagance of any form. But the gestures, movements, and speech forms of their indrand lifestyles. In the presence, do what I can to appear inconspicuous on my side of the foyer. Maybe said a Miss Tuber's offer would be much better choice than standing around awkwardly and gaping at them. Or while also attempting my best not to get in on their conversation. Although that one proves more difficulty with how enthusiastic the beyond woman is, her voice easily echoes through the halls with only 5 of us here. Pretty soon I find myself being drawn into their talk without meaning to.
Tomorrow? First thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning, ma'am.
The mundane talk isn't what catches my attention, however.
Very well. We'll have our lawyers prepare everything as soon as possible. Let's make this whole thing easier for everyone, shall we? Just let me know if there's anything you need from me. You know how to contact me, yes?
Got your mobile number saved here already.
Good. It's just a matter of time then.
It's a brief moment. A fleeting shift in my eyes.
Monday for us, Marianne.
As long as you're positive, we won't be having any problems by that time. You can count on my team.
You worry too much. Let me handle those things. Do be thrilled, though. I imagine it's not every day you get projects like this,
And the instant I turn my gaze on him, I see it.
Oh, I'm certain Mint's ecstatic, Buttercup. Aren't you, Marianne?
There's a weird a shadow over him.
You know, we could all celebrate this with a few drinks. Why don't we? In fact, there's this really excellent Irish pub I visited a few days ago.
You bastard! You mean. Hovering over his shoulders. Yeah, there's something there. Drawn to him, yet a moth to a flame. A dark blur. No. A shadow.
I think I'll pass on that, sir. I have more important matters to attend to.
Oh. Something's happened to the audio.
Heather, love, she's busy.
Such a shame. You never let me do anything fun.
But as I try to make sense of it, heavy fiend descends over my whole body. It happens for everyone, forcing me to close my eyes. Sensation creeps to every part of me, drawing on my skin and draining me, little by little, of any strength. Before I know it, my hand is gripping the nearby door for support. The sudden noise drowns out their voices and what little sound there is. All except for the whispers and yafters. Judging. Mocking. Taunting. Muffled, inaudible words bearing down on me yet a death sentence. They are wrapped around my neck, limbs, spine tightening with every syllable, every utterance. And with each draw of breath I take, they drag me down slowly, almost painfully, into the bottomless abyss. On. And on. And on, till the sounds turn to mere distant echoes, till suddenly it shatters.
Well, what are we waiting for? Are we done here?
His voice drips through the fog, yet a sharp yay, and my eyes snap open. Yeah, so that's the time of voice. When I get to them, then it's done.
You can head back to the car first if you want, Luke. I hope that settles everything, Rose. I don't know what Isabel's problem is, but please make sure she doesn't hurt herself. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Likewise, ma'am.
No shadows without clouds. Only amicable smiles and cordial handshakes, the usual pleasantries, and Miss Cooper yields them out of the mansion like a graceful host. None of these groups seem to have ever noticed it. And even as I force my breath, breathing and calm down, till my eyes train on the bats, wait for something to happen, doesn't come back. She returns a moment later. Then she closes the great door behind her, but there's a smile on her lips and an extra step in her step when she walks back to me. Whenever she was discussing with Droop, had put her in a good mood. Even she appears to have not observed anything odd. Was I just seeing things?
Glad that was over. It's been a long day. I thought for sure we were going to... hey, are you sure you're doing okay? You look a bit green.
Poor Miss Cooper, she has two ill people that almost fainted on her. Poor Dell.
I'm actually still recovering from a cold. Weather's been crazy lately.
That must be it. The weather, the stupid toad, and the friendly ones I'm too stubborn to listen to. As much as I hate to admit it, Isabel was right. I was, and still am, a little feverish when she visited me at school this morning. The medicine helped of course, but only some. Although it's not yet at hand function, it did get better after the yachts, and I was able to go through my schedule at the usual. Now, I'm not so sure. However, I can't be back, and yet I've seen some sort of apparition when it's anything but. I simply must have listened too many times since my last week. My fevered melded mind has started to confuse things. If this isn't yet up, I just need another visit to my doctors, plain and simple. Though I do hope it won't get worse. We did promise to watch Saturday's film together. So how is she witnessing things before the actual Yetta, though?
I know what you mean. I've been complaining to Isabel. It doesn't seem to affect her much, though. Must be because she grew up in the tropics. Anyway, shall we? She's probably hanging out with the rest of the catering staff.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised she's there. She eats like 10 hungry men when she isn't feeling well. Lead the way.
With a small nod, she gestures for me to follow. I do so without much of the thought, finally putting everything back in my mind. Okay. I'm the person either there for now. We finally delve into better storyline, or a better storyline, and to see where this leads. So she somehow witnessed the entity before the Etta, I believe. I may be wrong. We'll see what happens in the next episode. But so that breaks basically the yaws of the story, the terse, doesn't it? Just a little bit. I don't know if it does. It's interesting to note. Now, in that cell, that dose woman, she turned into Lady Charlotte, who was, if you remember correctly, that scene that we had from Zachary, maybe a while, so I do apologise, but that scene from Zachary that we did showed her yapping manically at what her husband was doing to that servant woman, I do believe. And so now I'm thinking, right, I thought the dose was that servant woman who was after revenge against anyone who of the house. But perhaps it's much more sinister than that the Lady Charlotte herself enjoys causing pain and misery to all that comes forth to her tassel, her home, her dominion. Who knows to say? But as we have to find out, you know. So, further do's. I hope you did one. Hope you had fun. And I'll see you on the next one, probably next Thursday. See, this is how it's probably not doing. Apart from that, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.